Okay, so going to talk about superhero decks and combinations with other decks. One of my favorite decks is superhero and adventure. But we'll talk about superhero cards first. You've got Captain Diabetes, which is a 2-cost common. It's also the newest card to South Park. I find it completely underwhelming, and I do not use it. Okay, Super Fart we do use. Okay, I'm about to get mine level 5. The knockback is absolutely amazing, and it's close to doing 100 damage. So we want Super Fart. Professor Chaos is absolutely amazing card. Mine is only level 2 right now, but you can see 113 health, 120 attack, and it has a Warcry spell, so we are going to put that in there as a strong assassin. Toolshed. We will put Toolshed in every superhero deck. It has the ability to summon Chompers, which makes it practically... It's one of my favorite superhero cards. So then we're obviously going to have Chomper. Chompers are perfect for stopping single units, such as Dougie's, or maybe even a Sci-Fi Kenny, without it infecting another unit. You've got Fast Pass. Give or take what your deck plan's going to be, Fast Pass is a really good card. 113 damage with its charged ability, and when used correctly can hit enemy new kid from a good distance away. We've got Lava. Lava is an awesome card. Slows all enemies in a very large area and does 14 damage over the period of time. It's enough to slow down an incoming advancement of multiple units and do enough damage to finish them off. Now we will use Mosquito. Mosquito is one of my favorite superhero cards. High health, decent damage, and summons mosquitoes that heal it when they attack. The mosquitoes tend to have a mind of their own sometimes, but they are flying and they can attack other flying units, which makes them worthwhile. Dr. Timmy is another new superhero card. Absolutely amazing. The range of 5 with the power range of 7, just like most of the other Timothy cards, is very strong. He has decent health for range and pretty good damage, and his ability lifts units out of the way, which makes your advancement all the better. Next, we are going to use Human Kite. Human Kite is an absolute staple superhero card. Somewhat okay damage, range, but it is flying, and it casts a shield over all units underneath it, which is great. Tupperware. I'm not going to use this right now. I'm going to go over some other variations of how to build a deck, and maybe if there's other cards available, I'll throw him in there. But he is amazing. He's very tanky, high attack, 4-cost common card. But what makes him unique is he's immune to all spells, effects, and abilities. So he cannot be targeted with your own heals, your own purifies, anything like that. But he also can't be targeted by enemy lightning bolts or any enemy skills such as Stan's freeze, Stan's his blast from the adventure stand. So none of those affect him. Mysterion, maybe at level 3 he's worth it, but right now level 1, level 2 I don't find him worth it. He's very expensive, but he does not die. He revives himself and comes right back. So Assassin. You have the Coon. Coon is a very strong tank. 5 cost, rather high. Low starting attack. Oops. But gets a 37 attack boost with every other superhero card. This is paired very well with Mosquito. the mosquitoes that spawn from mosquito count as another character, and you're immediately doing 2 cards worth of damage. Call Girl, I mean, very high cast card. Doesn't do much outside of cast another card, and because of that, I don't find her worth using at all. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone else, I'd love to hear it. But to spend 7 energy to cast a card at random that could potentially only be 3 or 4 cost doesn't make her worth it, because to me she's not a very good card even at 3 cost. So those are your superhero cards. So this is my staple superhero deck right here. Mosquito, Toolshed as my 2 fighters. You've got 2 spells in Superfart Chomper. You've got an Assassin in Chaos, and ranged in Timmy and Kite. So now you can go into neutral cards. Good pairs. It's entirely up to you. Santa Claus is a good pair with Human Kite, Dr. Timmy, Toolshed. He's a very tanky character, and also gives them the ability to cast another charge skill. Santa with Human Kite is very good. If done properly, you can keep your characters shielded for a majority of the game. Another good combo that I see with shield with Human Kite is Mimsy, allowing him to just go in there, balls to the walls, attack the new kid without taking any damage. Makes him very sustainable. You've obviously got your dog Poos. Usually use him in most of my decks, but we'll be back to verify later if I'm going to use any neutral cards. Mr. Hanky, also like Santa Claus, speeds up the charge rate of the other characters, Human Kite, Timothy, and Toolshed. So right now I'm not going to put in any of these. I'm going to first talk about the adventure cards and what I usually use to pair with Superhero. Okay, so Superhero does not have any direct attack damage cards like Lightning Bolt, Fireball, Unholy Combustion, etc. It does have Chomper and Superfart, but typically I like to have at least one of those types of cards. So Lightning Bolt, Arrow Storm, and possibly even Hook Hand Clyde can help with the fact that there's no direct damage cards. You still do have Dougies. You've got Gunslinger, who increases attack. Kenny kills an enemy card. But the main thing in Adventure deck to me is Medicine Woman Sharon. She's a decent ranged card and a heal. You pair her and Swashbuckler Red, and you've got a good combo with Human Kite. Red's ability to draw people towards your shield or draw people towards, the ability to Super Fart or Chomper is very strong. Pocahontas Ranny and Medicine Woman with Swashbuckler Red would be one variation of a deck I would use. So, and we'll see where we're at cost wise. So we're going to throw in Lightning Bolt, Pocahontas, Medicine Woman, and we are right at 3.5 cost. Now we can either throw in a Fireball, we can throw in a Dougie, we can throw in an Inuit Kenny. At this point, it's kind of what your preference is. If you want the board clear of Stand of Many Moons, that's another very viable option. Or you can go back over to neutral and you also have Aerostorm. Aerostorm is very solid. or we can throw in Tupperware. Okay, so this is most likely where I would throw in Tupperware. Because Super Fart is so effective, throwing in Tupperware, which is immune to Super Fart, is very useful. Okay, so this would be one deck I would use. It keeps me right around my average cost of 3.5. Does not have a tank. Randy would be my tank. Swashbuckler Red and Human Kite would be what I use to draw enemy units away from my advancement, as well as Timothy, who lifts opponents out of the air. Your main assault would be of Professor Chaos, Mosquito, and Toolshed mixed with Randy and Tupperware. Okay, so that is one deck variation. So now we are going to take our adventure cards out, and we are going to look at the next set, which would be Sci-Fi. Okay, so we already have an Assassin in Chaos, so I'm not going to use Butters. Jimmy is a very strong Assassin card because of his ability to halt enemies from charging their skills, such as Timothy, Toolshed, or Human Kite. We talked about Diabetes being a crappy card, and this is why I feel that way so strongly. Space Warrior Token is 2 cost, does almost 100 attack, 400 health, and his charge ability is way better. So I always almost use Space Warrior Token. And we would go over use Visitors. Okay, now we are a ranged heavy deck, but Visitors are an epic set of cards here. I would use Cyborg Kenny and Marine Craig as my other 2 cards for this variation of the deck. And what this does is it allows me to have some direct damage effect in Marine Craig towards the enemy nuke it. This helps finish them off and solidifies a lot of wins for me. Kenny, we all know what Kenny's capable of. I like to start with Kenny. Kenny is a good lead-off card. If you have it, they either have to let him take the damage, use up a Tupperware or other card that won't be affected by his ability, or summon one of their own lightning bolts or cards of that nature. Okay, this would be one of my variations of Sci-Fi. There are a lot of other good combos. Warboy Tweak. A lot of people use this card to speed up the advancement and make a good solid push when the enemy's weak. You've also got Bounty Hunter Kyle, flying, ranged, adds attack to other units. I don't need any other ranged at this point, and I feel Visitors is a stronger card. Other than that, I don't really like Stan. He's kind of low damage, low health. He's a one-trick pony. All he does is heal all, which is great if you're trying to get off a Space Warrior Token charge or maybe a Dougie charge. So that's one combination. I do not like 6th Element Randy whatsoever. His health sucks, his attack sucks, he's too slow. Not even after his boost recently, I don't like him. Alien Drone's a really good card, takes time to summon, but summons 2 units, which is pretty good. So that's how I would build adventures. Now I could also take out a Tupperware in that deck and throw in a Mind Control to add more spells to the deck. So we've done adventures and sci-fi, and we're going to go over here. So Power Bind, really good card. You Power Bind Human Kite and the card's practically worthless. Doesn't do much. Relatively slow, range isn't anything special, attack isn't anything special, health isn't anything special. Choir Boy Butters is one of the best assassins in the game. Gives you a little extra energy when he dies. Very good health and attack for 2 cost. Very fast card as well. Purify removes any status effects, like if they were to power bind your human kite. You know, a lot of options here. You have Zen Cartman, which is a good tank. Hermes is another awesome assassin. Doubles energy gain for 4 seconds. Very, very useful there. But the way I usually build here is I actually just got Witch Doctor token to level 2. I have not used him. He has not been something I've toyed around with, but it is something I would consider. I would throw an Unholy Combustion. This card takes out any opponent, any strength, any size, except for, of course, something like Tupperware, which is immune. So we've got a damage spell. We are going to use Heal. We are going to use Sexy Nun Randy. And we are going to... a couple different options we can go with here. And that is, we can throw in another assassin card, such as Kenny Butters, or we can throw in a Pope Timmy to revive one of our characters. Father Priest Maxi is a very solid tank with heal. You've got Ninju. I might even just go with Witch Doctor, keep us a lower cost, decent fighter with its own heal, and this would be a pretty solid combination here. Okay. And lastly, we will go over here. Now, there are a lot of different ways to go. Transmorgify would be a solid spell. I'm a big fan of Jimmy. His ability, he would knock out, if I level him up, visitors. Very good there. Rogue Token is another good clear all. He has the ability to do close to 300 damage when upgraded correctly in an area of effect. But you obviously have your Blood Elf, Elven King, and Amazingly Randy combo. And that puts you at the 1, 2, 3 cards to make up a very solid deck. Those 4 cards in themselves are enough to add into just about any other deck combination and do good damage. They did just nerf Bradley, but they didn't nerf his range, and that to me is what makes him effective, is his added range, not his added attack. So this is a 3.3 cost, very fast moving, destructive deck. So those are my options and my advice for superheroes, and I hope this video helped you.